Hello, here is a walkthrough of the van. So we will start from the dash. So if you click on this, it usually locks and unlocks if you have your keys, and then you open it up and that's your entrance. I usually leave my shoes out. It's easy to clean as well. And here you have your inside. So let's start with the dash. So you have your key, and then you press the brake, push start, and everything else is pretty much the same. Like your AC, all the compartments, you have Wi-Fi charging. I have a 150-watt power outlet on a port, so you can use this for your Starlink. One of the cool thing that I like is if you put it on reverse, you can see the whole 360 view. You can also change the views, and then up here you can also have a backup camera, or you can turn it off by this and then see what's in the back. Other than that, you have your push brake. So it's an automatic, so every time you park it's gonna be on. So every time you hit the road or you start driving, you have to turn it off. And that's pretty much it about the dash. So all these seats, they can be swivel. So there is a lever down there which you pull, and then you can swivel the seats. And then there are two other switches on that side, or also on the driver's side, where you can change the orientation of the seats. Here you have your mirror adjustments, lock, unlock, open, close, stuff like that. Pretty basic stuff. Now let's get into the dining area. So I don't have the table set up right now, but you can have the table right here. So the table is up here. Let me pull it up and set it for you. Okay, so here is the table. As you can see, there is a lock. You can lock it, unlock it, and then if you don't want to use the table, you can just put it up here. Make sure it's safe, doesn't fall off, and that's it. All these seats also comes out, so you can take the seats out, move forward and backward, things like that. Now for the windows, these are magnetic, and you have two sets of, one is full privacy, is this one, and then this is your black curtain. And then you can also remove this like this. Another cool feature is you can open the windows all the way like this, or even at night you can have it halfway. So it's not fully locked, there is a still gap, so air can come pass through. That's pretty close, and this is locked. But then again, you can have it fully locked, and here we go. Okay, you still have some space down here. You can put some things down here. That's for your iPad. So I put this curtain just for privacy. So I do have more curtains for the front dash, but if you want a quick privacy, you can always use these curtains, and then that'll give you privacy. And then here I have a shoe box where you can keep your shoes, but sometimes if you have to get into the van, you can also use one of these. That's pretty helpful after a long hike. And then there's some storage down here, and I have a portable seat and also a vacuum cleaner, portable vacuum cleaner. That will be very helpful. Okay, moving on. All the fun stuff, so we will come and talk about it in a bit, all the controls and stuff like that. But let's talk about all the other things we have. um, first we have lots of compartments. All the manuals is here. I will also have a written manual, step-by-step easy stuff. All the manuals are here. There are some storage down here. You have a rug for outdoor use, and these are the Van Essentials magnetic curtains, not the curtains, like the for the shades for privacy. And then you also have the top. I have the Starlink right now up there. Same thing, you can also open it up using these locks. So usually keep this on when you're driving if you're using the Starlink. So it is mounted right now. This is the lock for opening the pop top. So you have space on the pop top, and then the ladder goes here. When you're going up, if you're using the pop top, make sure you don't put any weight on this one, on this curtain, because it might break. I do have a portable power bank. This one you can use for Starlink as well, or this is your cord for the Starlink. Okay, now this is your sink. So you can use this cutting board. This is your sink. This is your hand wash, dishwash, first aid. I've got some cup holder. These are magnetic. You can also put it in the fridge, however you want. There's a silicone mat just to be protective. And then you have some. So this is also magnetic. If you want, you can take this off. You have the TV. You have your bed. And you have a lot of storage. Okay, so let's start with the storage. So this is all the cleaning stuff. So I do have one of the chemical in the black tank, so you don't have to worry about it, but you have to change it every 2-3 days. I have some gloves that you can use for dumping the gray water, black water. I have some camping lights, some extra cables. I have a battery powered fan. Some people like the noise or white noise of the fan noise. I like it, so I use this. It's a battery powered. You can also run it while on charging in one of these. You can also put it in right here. There's a hook for that. You've got some extra beddings that you can use, some extra sheets, and some pillows, and some extra beddings as well. This is your bed. So this bed can actually go up, so it's like a Murphy bed, so you can put it up like that if you want to store stuff in there, and then you can lock it right here. This is your TV. It's a smart TV. You can stream Netflix and all the stuff if you're connected to Starlink. And that's your switch. It's a 12-volt TV, so you can just plug that in, and make sure you plug it out. I mean, you take the plug off when you're not using it, otherwise it's gonna eat up the battery. Then underneath you have a lot of storage down here. We have like L tracks. If you are planning on taking your bicycle or anything, you can tie them up. This is your fuse box. Hopefully you don't have to use it, but I do have some extra fuses and stuff at the very end. This is the ladder to go up. This one you don't have to worry about it. This is for winter water heater things. Now here is your fridge, so make sure you use this lock. And here is your fridge. Everything is there. You have the knobs that you can use, and this is for the freezer knob. Okay, and lock it. Make sure you lock it before you drive. Same thing with this one. Unlock it, freezer, and lock it. All right. Let's talk about the shower. So you have some cleaning supplies. You have a cassette toilet, a fresh towel, some amenities, a couple other stuff. Shower. So one thing is, this is your for the cassette toilet. So what you usually do, you have the chemicals, you flush a little bit of water. This is your flush right here. You do your thing, and then you flush it out. You close the lid. Make sure you close the lid, and then close this one. Same thing, hot shower. You have hot water, cold water, shower and stuff. For hot water, you have to turn on the Truma hot water furnace. I will show you in a bit. For this one, make sure you take these things out if you're taking a shower, otherwise water can get into that. Okay, now here you have your microwave. So sometimes the microwave will not open, so you have to click the unlock and then open. It's a safety feature. So this is also an air fryer and convention oven if you want to use it. And then you have your trash right here. Make sure you lock this one because the previous tenant kind of mess it up, so it sometimes comes off, so it's a safety feature. You have some utensils down here that you can use, some down here, got some more down here that you can use. I've got the induction cooktop. So the induction cooktop, this switch goes right here, so you can put it up there and cook. A couple other things that you can use, rice cooker, waffle maker, knife and stuff. These are some of the spices. These are magnetic, and then this is for drying mat. Okay, so that's pretty much it. A quick review of the basic stuff, and then now we will talk about all the other things here. So to talk about this, first you have to remember that there is another separate AC on the back. So this AC, the microwave and the induction cooktop, these are high amp appliances, and to run those you have to have the generator on. You cannot run the AC or the microwave or the induction cooktop without the generator. And then you cannot also run all of them at the same time. So you have to make sure that you're not like overpowering everything and the fuse might break. So just be mindful about that. Okay, so here is the controller. So first, you always want to keep the battery switch on, so that pretty much powers all the lights and everything, the 12-volt USBs and everything. So the battery should be on. I usually don't turn it off when I'm on a trip, also because this will keep your freeze on, so you don't want your food to go bad. So the battery should be always on. Now this is your awning switch. You'll see it's not gonna work now because the car is on start, so you have to turn off the ignition and then it will work. So for awning, so you have an awning outside, so you turn it on and then you come here, and then if you hit extend, it's gonna extend, and if you put retract, it's gonna retract. Let me quickly show you this how it works. So I'm gonna turn it off and you will see the awning is on. You come here, you put extend, and your awning will come out. And then please make sure you keep those legs secure when it's all the way up. So use the legs to secure the awning, and when you're done, use the retract. It's gonna close the awning for you all the way. Okay, and when you're done, always remember to turn it off, otherwise it's gonna eat up your batteries. All right, okay, now let's start let's talk about this one. You don't need this. This is the tank heat. This is for winter months to heat up your gray water tank, but you don't need to use this. This is your water pump. Every time you're using water, so you turn it on. Now you have the fresh water pump is on, and you can use water. So you can see water's coming out. So every time you're done using water from your fresh water tank, please turn it off. Otherwise the pump will keep running, and that might burn the motor and you'll end up with no water. Also, if you're connected to a city water, make sure it's off. Please do not turn on the water pump if you're connected to a city water, because the city water already has a lot of pressure, and then the pump will still keep running, and that might burn the motor. So please be careful about that. Okay, these are some of the light switches. This you don't have to, we changed it, so you don't need this one anymore. This is the light switch. You can also change the intensity of the lights. That's pretty much it. And then you can see how much battery power you have. Fresh water tank, gray water tank. Gray water is empty, fresh water is half full, and then your battery level. Okay, all right, so now let's turn on the generator, and it shows the hours right here. So to turn on the generator, you just hit start, and here we go. So every time you turn on the generator, it will also power the battery. And you also have your solar right here. The solar, always keep it on. This is also going to charge your battery. So it's a two-way thing, but sometimes if you have to use the high amp appliances, you have to turn it on. And it's pretty quiet, so I mean, and it doesn't take up a lot of gas. It will actually use your vehicle's gas, and also there is a safety feature that it's not gonna run if you have very low gas, because that way it makes sure that you can drive to a spot. Okay, I don't know if you hear that noise, so you have to wait for a bit when you start the generator to hear the beeping noise. So now that means you have power through the generator. Okay, so you have to wait after you turn it on. Now just a quick review. Battery, you keep it on. Awning, for the awning you have to have your vehicle off, ignition off. Tank, you don't need it, it's for winter months. Water pump, every time you need water, turn it on. When you're done, turn it off. Do not turn it on while on city water connection. This is your generator, and these are to check your water levels and stuff, tank levels. All right, now is the AC for the back. So here is the knob for the AC. So since your generator is on, you can click it off, click, go to cool, and go to fan high, and you will see that now the generator is on. It's going here, and awesome. Okay, one of the very important safety feature is, if your generator is on, please do not shut off the generator. If your AC is on, do not shut off the generator or the battery. That will break, the breaker will go off, and also that can cause some damage to the AC. So always remember, shut off the AC first, and then turn off the generator. Also, if you're using any other stuff, microwave or anything, turn it off, then turn off the generator. That's a safety feature. That's one thing that I want you to remember. Okay, so here is your AC is on, so you can also click on off. Here is off, that's off. And then you can also, I'm not gonna turn it off because it's hot out here, and then you also need to turn it off, this one, so it will show off and off. So when you're off, okay, let me do this. So let's see. So you put it off and off. Okay, now your AC is off. Now it is safe to turn off the generator. Otherwise, not a no-no. Okay. All right. So now you keep your solar on. You don't have to worry about this one. This is also for solar. You don't have to worry about the Xantrex. This is your awning, extend and retract. This is for your hot water solution. This is your porch light, ceiling fans, step light, all the other stuff. So I will show you how to use this one in a bit. Okay, so for the Truma hot water, so if you need hot water, so you have to turn the hot water heater on. So as you can see, it has 4 different switches. This is for RV furnace, for heat. You don't need that during the summer month, so always make sure it's off. Okay, you plug in there. This is your hot water heater. So you click it on, and then you put it on hot, leave it, and it will start heating the water up. If you scroll to next one, this is your fuel. So I leave it on fuel, but if you're connected to a campsite, you have electric, then you can use electric, but I usually prefer it to be on fuel because it doesn't take a lot of fuel, to be honest, to run the hot water tank. And then finally this one, you don't really need to do that, it's just off. Oops, So now I'm gonna turn this off. This is gonna be fuel, and this is off. All right, okay, that's pretty much it for the hot water stuff. Again, a quick review: you keep the batteries on. This is for awning. This is for winter months. This is for water tank. Do not run it on city water connection, and always turn it off when you're done. These are your indicators. Your generator, do not turn off the generator when your AC is on. This is your AC switch. You turn it on and off. Make sure it's off before you turn off the generator. Solar, always keep it on. This is your solar panel. This is Xantrex. You don't need that unless you're connected to the winter months or extreme emergency situations. This is your awning. This is your hot water furnace, Truma, and these are your light switches. And that's it. I think pretty much talked about all the stuff we need. And then, oh yeah, to go upstairs, so you put the ladder right here, you unlock it, push it, you'll see it, you push it, you unbuckle all of these things, and then you push the lever and it will automatically open up. And then when to close it, make sure you close it down, and then you lock this up, so that way no air is coming in or other stuff. I think that's pretty much it. So for Starlink, make sure it is always connected to 100 watt, so either on there or using a plug right here, or using the power bank right here. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna turn off the generator. So I'm gonna turn off the AC first. So the AC is off, this is off. Now I will go ahead and turn the generator off. Here we go. Okay, now let's go out. I'll give you some good stuff. So it has a lock all the way down here. You also have a small table. You have your fire extinguisher, and then you close it. On the back of the van, you have your spare tire. The keys for this one and this one is inside the van, so you can also use that. And now this is your smart plug to connect to a 30 amp campsite connections, and here you have all the water hose connections. So I'll start with this. So this is your gray water tank. So you use the hose right here. So the hose is inside, so you connect the hose here and use it to the dump station, release the valve, dump the water, and then always remember to close the valve. Okay, and that's it. So when you're done, you clean the hose and put it back right here, and then make sure it's locked and everything is secured. Here you have your all the water connections. So this is your city water connections. Again, when you're connected to this, don't run the water pump. This is some port for outside shower, solar cable, and this is your to fill up your fresh water tank. And this is your cassette toilet. So you have to unlock it and then push this button both together and then get the cassette out. I'm gonna do another video on the cassette toilet. Okay, here is your cassette toilet. So you unlock it, you push it, and then you have it in here. You have a lock down here. You pull this and then you take it out. When you take it out, you have it unscrew this one, and then you dump your water. And to do that, you also have a valve right here. You can press this valve, and that will also help get the water out. And then when you're done, clean it, rinse it. So there are some instructions there. Clean it, rinse it, and then you just leave it there. Put it back. And sometimes it may not come out. That's because you have the lever on the inside is not closed. So make sure that is the valve is closed inside. And when you're done, put it back, lock it, and you are good to go. another couple other things from the back is you have some storage. You have an outside shower down here. You can unlock it and then use it for outside shower. You do have a couple more storage, some more important stuff. Hopefully you don't have to use any of these, and you're a lot of storage down here. So that's pretty much it, I guess.